And then as you're ready, go ahead and come back up. And then let's roll down again. And feeling your feet underneath you, spread the toes out and come back up. And then I realize in my notes that I'm going to use my mat a little bit here. I'll try not to get cut off of my screen. I'm gonna roll down. And I'm gonna walk forward with the palms into plank. Coming forward into a plank position, feeling the hands on the floor. So doing a little bit of mat work before we get on to the cardio stuff. And then from here, if you'd like, go ahead and lift one foot and reach the toe and the heel, the toe and the heel. And then try the other one, toe, heel, toe, heel. And warming up that way a little bit, walking the hands back. You can always take your knees down to the floor and then find your way up as well. Nice deep breath. Let's do one more like that. One more walk out to plank. And again, you could come down to the knees, come down to the hands that way, and then extend the legs. And let's lift one foot up and then do a little lift, tap, lift, tap. And do the other side, tap. Lifting and tapping the toe down. Good. And then walking the hands back. Rolling up into your standing position. Getting warm there. And then let's go ahead and lift the heels. So spreading the toes out. Let's lift the heels up and come down. Up and down. Good. Keep going straight up and down with the heels. Get the calves warmed up. Nice. Good. We're going to come into a high chair position. I'm just going to give my camera a little adjustment here. And in that high chair position, I'll come to the side here a little bit. Let's wake up the quads a little in this position. Feeling the feet. Letting the tail be soft and letting the legs do the work here. If you'd like, you can shift your weight, lifting one heel and then the other. If you'd like to bring the hands behind the head, pushing the head into the hands a little bit. Pausing a little bit there, waking things up. Pausing. If you'd like to add, you could tap a toe out. Tap. Tap. And come down nice and centered here. Press down to come up. And let's come back down. That high chair position. I'm letting the torso come forward quite a bit, but still reaching my seat down and back. Good. Couple more. All right, hands coming out. Let's take our leg and give ourselves a little bit of a kick back here. Kicking back, hamstrings, heel toward your seat. A little bit of balance. So go ahead and grab the wall if you need to. Good, and then hold, taking that heel up, knee straight down. A lot of times we'll have the knee kind of forward here. See if you can bring the knee straight down and bringing that heel toward your seat. And release and shake it out. And let's try the other side. Kick a little bit quicker tapping. Good. And then we're going to try that balance, heel toward the seat, and then that knee, if we can, it's dropping straight down. Try not to let it be up front here. Heel still trying to come up toward my seat. Little squeeze there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Go ahead and shake it out. All right, those arms. A little bit of circles here. Legs are warmed up. Arms held us up in plank, but let's give them a little more to work with. Feels like I'm far away now, but my whole head is in, and if I take my hands overhead, you can still see me. Good. And then let's do air pulse. So as though you had a bar here and you're doing a chin up. Go ahead and keep those arms kind of forward, elbows kind of forward in this one, as though you're doing that chin up. Right under the chin. Good. Couple more. Last one. Pull down and hold there. Where are the shoulders, shoulder blades? How does that feel? Are you feeling connected? You feel a little bit of the upper arms working. Good. And then release. Go ahead and shake that out. And then get ready with your stationary bike, your step, whatever you're working with. We'll go ahead and head to that. So here we go. Stepping up, getting settled in for the ride, getting the heart rate going a little bit. If you need a little more, you can start moving the arms. You can go faster. Good, and then let's switch sides. I thought we'd talk a little bit about some workshops coming up, doing them outside of the Pilates on Harrison thing. Be doing them locally here, but maybe there'll be a way to invite people on a screen as well. One topic I thought I'd revisit was there's a book by William Broad called The Science of Yoga. Wanted to check in and see if there have been any other books written like it, and kind of revisit the science that's in that book about what yoga can scientifically be proven to help or to do. I think yoga's become so popular, and sometimes we think it can cure all, can do it all. I'm gonna switch every other foot now. So if you're doing step, let's switch it up. You can always add your weights. And if your weights are kind of light, maybe you're in the market for a fall purchase of a little bit heavier weights. Talked a lot about that last week in my classes about this importance of strength and adding that weight. If we just stay with the 3-pound weights, 5-pound weights for now and forever, we might maintain. I'm not even sure if that's possible, if we actually can lose, or if we will really stagnate, really plateau. So it's nice to give yourself just a little more. These 7s have been a really different experience for me. A lot of my arm movements are more challenging for that. And some people would say some of the arm movements get even heavier ones and do fewer reps. So one workshop about science of yoga, maybe have some newer teachers come in, or anybody else who would like to know a little bit more about what am I really doing with the yoga practice? Probably a little bit of discussion on joint laxity in there. I know if you do the mindful cardio, you've done a unit on that and with Scott. Pretty interesting stuff. And let's see, what else did I say I would work with? Let me do a little switch up here. It's getting a little broader with my step. My wide step here, each side of the step. Been pretty interested in a discussion about goals. And I'm even tentative to use the word. Some people really like that. Some people really don't like that, talking about goals. So what's happened in the last, I don't know, 5 years maybe? A lot of talk about habits. And kind of that old saying of how you live your life is how you live your days, how you live your moments is how you live your life, something like that. I'm not very good with quotes. I usually end up making up my own. So you can write that down, written by Ingrid. So if we set that far off, lofty goal, not a bad thing to have some goal out there. And then it's thinking about the steps to get there. And it's thinking about how we live our lives and the little steps that are going to get us there and how we need to make those little steps routine. I'm not just talking about this because I've got it all figured out and it all worked out for me. But that's one of the topics I'd like to hit in workshop. And maybe I'll talk more about it here just because I'll be getting ready for the workshop. So I'll let you know, keep you posted. I'm gonna reach that foot back there a little bit. Tap, tap, tap. While I was looking around for some of this information, I found an article, 2017, I think, which I forget is not, it's not that long ago, but it's still quite a while ago already. And that was when the HIIT, HIIT, high intensity interval training, what Scott's talking about can counter or add on to what we're doing, staying in zone 2. And the article, I think it's Men's Health, talking about the value of this, of the zone 2, the zone 1, of being active, a steady activity, a steady heart rate, a little above normal, and the value of that slow, long training. And we're not even needing to do it long, right? Half an hour, a few times a week is what they found can be very beneficial. Just making sure you get out for a walk or you do these practices here and adding in the weights is my own. I'd love to do a little bit more on that, right? What happens? And I did a workshop on that last semester. Was it then? Yes, maybe last December on that strength piece. So might be in the archives there. Amazing what happens with the metabolism when we work with the weights. Amazing how the things that we have been able to scientifically see happen when we start to lift the weights. Metabolism, strength, balance. Ability to do the daily things, lifting the groceries, lawn work, vacuuming. All that stuff can get hard if the body isn't ready to support us. How is everybody doing? Let's come back to center here. If you're on your step, go ahead and march it. If you're on your bike or whatever else you're on, keep it there at that steady pace, feeling the feet. Just me giving a good old exhale. Cardio, we just let the breath do what it needs to do. I'm gonna go ahead and take the feet wide. If you're on the step, we're gonna sumo. Let's do 10. That's it. There's our 10. I'm gonna step back off and do this little step here, and a step here, kick. Step, kick, step, kick. I'm gonna go ahead and use my arms. Could have weights in them if I wanted. Turns out I did some good weight stuff yesterday. So I'm gonna take a little easy today, but I am gonna get the biceps in later. Kick, 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 kick. Had some good storms rolling through here in northern Wisconsin today. Ground so needs the water. Probably need the nitrogen from the lightning. I'm loving it. Good and sticky, pretty humid. All right, gonna switch it a little bit. Instead of curling the leg up, kick it back. Kick it back a little straighter leg. Straight. 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 So habits versus goals. yoga. What was my third topic? Might take me a minute to remember. Maybe it was strength. Maybe it was working with strength at home. Maybe you're gonna have to come back next week and find out, because I might not remember what I put in there. All right, arms are getting a little tired. And give myself a little break there. Let's go ahead and tap up top. Tap up top. How about tapping on the same side? Standing, tapping. Let's do that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and switch. You can go slower, faster. I'm gonna go back to alternating. Tap. Class I did yesterday, not teaching, taking, ended up working with the hip flexors. And if you were at my class on Sunday, we worked with hip flexors. So all of that, and then we're gonna do stairs today. Hopefully, Thursday is gonna be a nice lengthening session for my whole front of the body. Good. All right, stepping right up on the middle. We're gonna step to each side and up. Each side and up. Stepping down currently with my right. I'm gonna switch it up in a little bit, just so you notice which side are you stepping down with and stepping up with first. Stepping down, stepping up. So since we have our group here and we've got a semester ahead of us, are there things you're dealing with that you'd like to have discussed here? Obviously, you don't have to reveal anything, just if there are topics you're interested in us investigating, we certainly can. Just have to know what you'd like. I'll keep mixing it up as far as what we're doing on the stair, what we're doing on the mat. And it'll be nice to know who's in the class. Right now we have Juanita, Ellen. One way to keep this online thing alive for me is to know you're there. And for you to know other people are there with you too. We're here virtually together. In some ways, it's so nice to do this practice this way, isn't it? Sometimes I'm teaching from home. I might be teaching from here more often, so I have to leave my house. But internet might be a little better, a little bigger space. But for you, super convenient. Turn on the machine, show up at 11:58, get your workout in, go back to your life. You didn't have to drive. Stepping up with the other foot. And yet we still need that social as much as we can, and recognizing whether here or in other parts of your life, getting those visits in while the weather's still nice. Figure out who your pod is. Getting your sleep. So many things we could talk about, right? Immune system, how this helps the immune system, what we're doing right now, elevating our nervous system a little bit to have it come down the rest of the day. So when we go to bed, good sleep. Just doing a regular march here. I have to do some new stuff again. Back on the stair. we're gonna come down and we're gonna do some knee lifts here. So we could come down and tap, or you can keep it there. And let's just do this one to start, keeping the leg there. You can tap, or you can lift that knee. Tap, tap, tap. Good. And I'm gonna come down and march it out a little bit. Yeah. So there's a little strength component, a little heart rate going, because we're working that one side. Good. So let's do that on the other side. One foot up, and I'm gonna come up and tap, tap, or knee. Again, that hip flexor saying hello. All right, and I'm gonna march it out again. And march it out wide. And everybody in your body, feeling the body, march it in really close, march it close. Pulling the belly in, march it out some more. And then get a little bit glidey with it. So kind of leaning into each side. If you're on your machine, go ahead and keep going with your bike or elliptical or rower. Just keep rowing. Those of us on the floor, I'm just gonna find some different things to do on the floor. All right, what else do we have on the stair? Let's go ahead and come back. We're gonna tap and tap down. Come up and tap down. So similar to what we did, only this time top leg is gonna come down each time. And you can swing those arms. Good, we're gonna switch sides. Go ahead and go right into it. Tap. You don't have to go so much to the corner like I did there. Give my foot a little room to tap. Or I can lift that knee. Tapping down and tapping up. Good job. Picturing everybody staying in their heart rate, checking out their heart rate zone. Maybe you have that chest strap on. Go ahead and come back to march. Take the feet wide. Good. And then we're gonna come down into a squat here and pulse. And then keep that heart rate up. Punch. Just little punches to start. Get the torso into it first. Get the belly pulled in, the arms ready. And then if you'd like, get a little more punchy about it. You can even lift that back foot, turn the foot if you'd like, or keep them down. All right. Those of you on a machine, you might want to start to come down, slow that down, get ready to come back down to the mat. So we're going to pick up the weights here in a moment. Good. Those of us still on the floor, let's go ahead and take those Squats. We're going to take some slow ones here. So we're going to go count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come up a little bit faster. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and kind of explode up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, up. 5, 3, 2, 1, up. 5, 4, 3, and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Woo, everybody with me? All right, if we're all together here, let's grab those weights. And let's get in those promised bicep curls. So feet are right underneath me here. Heart rate's still going. I'm just going to start with those arms. Bicep curl. If you have really heavy ones, 6 or 8. If your weights are a little lighter, 10 to 12. If they're really light, keep going. Keep going, and then add your own resistance. If I had 3 pounds here, I'd probably start to really squeeze on the way up, squeeze, and slow it down on the way down. All right, I'm gonna keep that heart rate going a little bit here. I'm gonna take your feet apart. Take the weights down and up, down and up. Make sure your hips are coming down. Hips down. And if you'd like, all the way up. Down, all the way up. Down, all the way up. Down and up. Good, let's do 3 more. 3, 2, 1. Overhead. Whew. Nice work. Heart rate's definitely there. So notice how you maybe even went up into that higher 2 range, or even into 3 doing that. You add in the weights and the whole body. Sometimes that happens. So you might be coming down a little bit here. Let's draw the shoulder blades in as you come forward. Notice I've got a little softness in the knee, a little bend, and the back supported by the belly. Pull the elbows up, and let's work the triceps. Again, if you have lighter weights, you're going to keep going. Heavier weights, 8. Medium, 10 to 12. Good. And coming up to standing. Nice work. So let's take this down to the floor. Thinking about how I want to do that. I'm going to put my weights down, pull my step back a little bit, and I'm going to pick up those weights in just a moment. Back of your mat or your space. And just like we started, I'm going to roll down. Going to make a roll though, like we're going to dive into the pool. So take that arms nice and long here, reaching the shoulder blades up. Reach out and get that nice rounded spine. Coming all the way down. Oh, it feels nice to stretch that spine in that way. Let's go ahead and walk the hands out to your plank position. And this time from your plank position, you're going to take one knee down and back up. Lower the hips a little bit, knee down and back up. If that feels really good, you could take both knees down and back up, and notice, trying to keep my hips, they're gonna move, but trying to keep them ready for that plank position. It also is a little demanding on the feet. Let's go ahead and walk the hands back. Maybe not ideal for the socks anymore. Off they come. And then roll up. Arms coming all the way up. Taking that nice dive forward, really pulling the belly back here. It may not look like I'm rounding, but in my mind, that's what's happening. Take a nice reach there. Fingertips find the mat, walk your hands out. Good, and this time hands, finding that just right spot here underneath the shoulders, pretty much underneath the shoulders. I want you to take your elbow pits and point them forward as well, because you're gonna try to take your elbow points down toward the mat and straighten. Elbow points down toward the mat and straighten. Elbow points down and up, down, and up. If this is too hard with the knees up, take the knees down. And we can all do that here. We did the hard part, now we'll do the easier version. Elbow pits forward, and we're gonna take those points down. And then one thing to be cognizant of is a lot of times we'll take the hips back. So try not to take the hips back. Just take the arms down, make them do that work. And last one. And then just stretch it out a little bit. Roll yourself up. Good work. And then come back to your hands forward position here. Walk them out this time. So for me, depending on how wide your mat is, my couple fingers are off the mat for me. I'm gonna take the hips into that knee down plank position. Head comes up because it always wants to come forward. So head comes back a little bit. And then let's work with push up. That was 5. Can we get a couple more? Good, and then press it back, take your break. Whew. That's pretty exciting. All right. Gonna come all the way onto the back. Haven't done that at all yet. I'm gonna grab onto the weights. As I come down. And then let's take those weights up and just let the weight come down your arms into the shoulders. Hanging on, we don't want to drop these weights. And then we're going to take the elbows out and press back up. Elbows out and press. Elbows out and press. And press. Good. And the weights go up and the belly tucks in. So pulling those ribs down right in front here and taking that weight a little overhead. Mine are really heavy, so I'm only gonna go so far. If yours are a little lighter, you might be able to handle keeping the ribs tucked in and taking the weight overhead. Very little bit for me. These are heavy to go overhead for me. Connecting into the belly. One more set. Good. And then the weights come down. And I'm going to bring them all the way down to the floor. Hands alongside the body. I tuck the shoulder blades in just a little bit. Let's take the feet up toward the ceiling. Let the low back find the floor. And then let's let the one foot drop a little bit and come back up. The other foot drops a little bit and comes back up. Just kind of testing the waters to see and get the belly turned on for us a little. That connection to the hip flexors. Good. And then draw the legs in. And let the low back and the whole back feel the floor support. Soften the face. And then take the arms out into a T. And then with some support of the belly, let's take the legs a little bit to one side. And you can let that back arm come up a little bit. So mine's definitely off the floor here. I can maybe get my fingertips down and then come back to center and let the legs go to the other side. You can keep, the more they're up toward the body, my guess is kind of the easier that is for you, and then press down and come back. And then go back to the first side. And let that arm come up. It feels nice to get a little stretch here in the armpit area after what we've done, and maybe you've done some other workouts. But you can still let that arm come up a little bit. You don't need to make it too right in your face, right? So a little bit of stretch is okay. You don't have to have that biggest. All right, coming back to center, pulling the legs in. Maybe stretching the legs out a little bit toward the ceiling, rotating the ankles. And then as you're ready, we'll come up, maybe over to your side or roll upward. If anything is a little bit tight, kind of noticing if that's the case for you. If things are tight in the quadriceps, you can go ahead and give them a little bit of a shiatsu massage, I guess. I'm not versed in that, but giving your legs a little TLC or lift the leg up, and with the muscle completely relaxed, you can just kind of give it some, I don't know, this is some thank you love for the work it's doing all the time. And the other side. All right. Finished. So kind of feel like it's the perfect place to go into a nap or into a resting position, or even into a little bit of stretching, because we got really warm in the body. That's a nice place to be, not to overdo, but to kind of be with those muscles now. They're all nice and warm. But have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you next week. Yeah. See you soon.
Thanks, Ingrid. Great class.
Thank you. Thanks, Ellen. Have a good day.
Okay, see you Sunday.
Okay, see you Sunday.